Please be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you today to the University of Manchester and the splendid surroundings of the Whitworth Hall for today's graduation ceremony. In particular, of course, I welcome our graduands, whose magnificent achievement and hard work we are here to celebrate. I'm also delighted to see so many friends, family and supporters here. I know some of you will have come very long distances, and I thank you for the support and encouragement that you have given to our graduands during their studies, which has been such an important part for their success. Just like the staff in the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures, you can be extremely proud of what they have achieved. In fact, could I ask our graduates to please stand? If you can find your friends, family and supporters, turn and face them, and then give them a round of applause for all the help they've given you. Thank you. Before we begin, I'd like to say a few words about the institution whose name is written on the certificate you will soon be receiving. From its origins in the early 19th century, this has been a university ready to engage with the wider world. You'll struggle to find any ivory towers in here. At the present time, Manchester is already regarded as one of the finest universities in Europe, but we are determined to become one of the best in the world. With 173 nationalities on campus, the University of Manchester is truly a global institution and one that will remain so, valuing its European and international staff, students, and alumni. No fewer than 25 Nobel Prizes have been awarded to us, our staff and former students, and our alumni occupy the highest positions in the world of business, politics, media, and the professions. Future leaders in all of those domains, I'm sure, are sitting in front of me right now. You will see outside some of the investment that the university is making in the buildings and equipment to improve the experience of our students and to keep our research at the leading edge. But it isn't bricks, mortar, wires, technology, or pieces of paper that make a university so great and so successful. It's our students, our staff, our people. During your time here in Manchester, you have helped make the university what it is today, and this ceremony is as much about thanking you and honouring you for that contribution as it is about celebrating your academic success. A degree ceremony is far more than obtaining a piece of paper and some letters after your name. It is a rite of passage representing the move from one stage of life to another. Some of you will remain in education and research, but for many of you, the transformation will be to the world of work. If you're still feeling the effects of pressures of some of your academic deadlines, perhaps you can take some solace from the words of Aristotle, one of the first teachers, who tells us that the roots of education are bitter, but its fruit is sweet. This year, we are delighted to present our first ever Stellify graduates. Stellify is our program offering students a unique and personalized set of activities designed to help them develop the attributes of a University of Manchester graduate to become globally responsible citizens and to become highly employable. We are very proud of those of you who are graduating today who have taken part in the Stellify activities during your time at the university. Obtaining a degree is a hugely important milestone, and we rightly congratulate and celebrate in your success. But this is just the beginning of your journey and your association with the University of Manchester. As the class of 2019, you not only take with you the friendships formed during your years with us, but also the membership of a wider community of 400,000 who come together in our Alumni Association. One last message before we proceed is to remind you that your degree does not only confer on you the recognition of the knowledge you have gained. In an age when the trust in some of our leading public and private institutions has been damaged, we rely even more on the integrity and informed skepticism that the trained mind can offer. Wherever you go in the world, you are responsible for carrying these values with you and instilling them in those around you. So I sincerely hope that today will not be your last contact with the university, and please remember that our doors are always open to you. Thank you. I now invite Professor Alexander Cesaro, the head of the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures, to say a few words.
Associate Vice President, colleagues, graduates, and your families and friends. As head of the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures, I'm delighted to congratulate those of you graduating today on your success in obtaining your degrees. Colleagues in the school are extremely proud of what you have achieved. They worked closely with you for 3 or 4 years or even more. Some of you graduating today have studied with us for your BA, MA, and PhD, meaning that you've shown loyalty to the university and the school for over 7 years. You've become very much part of our academic community. Some of you who are being awarded a PhD today have also been graduate teaching assistants, working alongside us in teaching our undergraduates, so that you are our valued colleagues as well as our inspiring students. We very much hope that you found your time here intellectually and academically stimulating, because whatever else studying for a degree gives you, the experience should have been one where you have found yourself both challenged and excited. I'm extremely grateful to my colleagues for having given you that experience. For many of you, for all of you, I've no doubt, it will have transformed your lives, though you may not know it yet. I therefore ask you all to join me in thanking the teaching and support staff for all their efforts and dedication during your time with us. This ceremony is held in our glorious Whitworth Hall, testimony to a remarkable tradition of philanthropy and social responsibility, which reminds us of the bold Victorian aspirations and hopes for our university. It also reminds us that the subjects you studied for your degrees have a long and distinguished record at this institution. Manchester was one of the first universities back in the late 19th century to offer degree programs in history. While most of you graduating today will have spent much of the last year researching and writing your dissertations, what you might not know is that, the great medieval historian T.F. Trout, thanks to him, Manchester in the 1890s pioneered the concept of an undergraduate dissertation, which is now seen as a staple of all the humanities and social science programs across the world. It is no exaggeration to say that the understanding of independent research as being one of the hallmarks of a university education in the humanities owes a great deal to Manchester's history department. In 1851, in what was religiously a multi-denominational city, and in a deliberate attempt to avoid sectarian divides, the university, unique for its time, did not offer degrees in theology, although there was teaching of the Bible in Greek and Hebrew. However, a faculty of theology was opened in 1904, and Manchester was one of the first universities to offer courses in comparative religion. Today, the Religion and Theology Department are known for the excellent teaching and engagement with the wider public, and for research, which is flourishing at the national and international level. Research and history, in the most recent national research exercise, where institutions were judged on the quality of their research, the research environment, and the impact of their research on the wider world, was ranked among the top 5 in the country. The History Society and the History Magazine, the Manchester Historian, is the bedrock of history student experience, along with all our student ambassadors, whose contribution to visit days and our widening participation to school events are so valued by parents, teachers, and prospective students. Over the past 3 years, many of you, or at least many of your families, will have wondered whether the degree in the humanities was a wise investment. It was arguably the best decision you've made so far, both in personal and professional terms, and one that I'm convinced you will not have any cause to regret. As the philosopher Martha Nussbaum cogently argues, the study of arts and humanities subjects fostered critical thinking necessary for independent action and intelligent resistance to authority, and enables the development of qualities such as imagination and empathy, which are the essential foundations of democracy. The humanities are not just a broad spectrum of fascinating and ever-growing texts, topics, and artifacts. They're also, and perhaps even more importantly, a form of knowledge, a set of epistemic protocols, a specific approach to all aspects of the human experience at the individual and social level, which is based on unquenchable curiosity, relentless exploration of facts, and sophisticated interpretation. In a world where the frontier of knowledge changed faster than any other time in human history, this methodological foundation will be the most precious skill you have acquired here, and the one that will enable you to branch out in many different directions over the course of your life with full confidence in your ability. But let me put these concepts in another way, in the words of our own inimitable professor of creative writing, Jeanette Winterson. As she puts it, the imagination and creativity, which are the hallmark of the humanities, are not the flowers on the table. They're not even the table. They're the very ground on which we stand as human beings. They are, if creativity is a luxury, human beings are a luxury too. Or again, this is what humanities offer, a language powerful enough to say how it is. They aren't a hiding place, they are a finding place. This is also why, unsurprisingly, arts and humanities graduates are also much sought after in the labour market. One of our most distinguished alumni, Sir John Cunliffe, is the Deputy Governor of the Bank of England, and one of the most senior and respected economic policy makers, now at the bank and previously at the Treasury. He talks eloquently about the invaluable grounding that his studies as an undergraduate in Manchester gave him. He graduated with a BBA in English literature and the final year project on Oscar Wilde and the Bible. The ability to dissect a text or an argument, intellectual curiosity, a taste for the unexpected, the willingness to engage with multiple points of view, cultural traditions and aspirations, to mention but a few, are the defining features of an arts graduate and the reasons why arts and humanities graduates are highly employable. Whether you study history, religion, or other aspects of the arts and humanities, what unites you is an interest in what makes us human and part of humanity. The degree programs you have studied examine the most controversial and exciting topics of our time, such as creation of identities, issues of gender and sexuality, the relationship with the local and the global, and between past, present, and future. They signal the university commitments to exploring the grand challenges of the day, and they ensure that you will be ready to engage with fellow human beings in a responsible, aware, and intellectually astute manner. We believe deeply in the educational mission of the university, and specifically in the enduring value of the humanities. I'm therefore pleased to confirm that the school will again offer this year a 3,000 bursary to any student graduating from the university with a first-class degree who registers on one of our MA programs. Graduation is also a moment to celebrate distinguished achievement. Students this year have produced some outstanding work, and I'm pleased to announce the following prizes. The following students are awarded the Dean's Award for Academic Achievement: Isabel Robbins, Anna Valance, William Phillips, Alexa Thompson, Max Maxfield, Solomon Rackham, Lucy Wright, Bethany Gallican, Anna Goodyear, Yona Taylor, and Tariq Chastanet-Hurd. In history, the Brettel Prize for Best Thesis in Nazi Germany is awarded to Courtney Orb Hudson. The Thomas Brown Prize for Performance in Exam is awarded to Conrad Grobian and Hannah Hassan. The Higginson Prize for Best Performance in an Essay is awarded to Iona Taylor. The Thomas Frederick and Mary Tout Prize for Exam Performance is awarded to Anna Valance, William Phillips, and Max Maxfield. In Religion and Theology, the Brandon Memorial Prize for Best Undergraduate Work in Comparative Religion is awarded to Molly Horncastle. The Dastur Kutar Prize for Best Level 3 Dissertation in Zoroastrianism is awarded to Eleanor Munro. The Undergraduate Dissertation Prize for Religion Studies is awarded to Isabel Robbins. And the Philip Alexander Prize for the highest grade in a Jewish Studies related module is awarded to Abigail Elderfield. Congratulations. As you receive your diploma, you enter a new phase of your relationship with the University of Manchester. We very much hope that you will continue to be an active part of the extended community of alumni and supporters, to nurture an interest in the life of the university and the students who fill in your steps, to take pride in the collective achievements of this great and noble institution. The loyalty, support, and goodwill of our students is the foundation of our future. Please keep in touch with us. Visit us when you're back in Manchester. We wish you the very best of luck for the future and look forward to hearing how you're doing. Thank you.
Vice President, on behalf of the Senate of the University, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Hannah Burton. Also graduating as a President's Doctoral Scholar, Stephanie Dermott. Yu Gu. And for the degree of Master of Arts in Religions and Theology, Dominic Buddy. Jacob David Parton. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Comparative Religion and Social Anthropology with honours, Leila Benarous. Mikhail Chaudhary. Rebecca Francis Fernyhoe. Molly Horncastle. Amy Jessica Jones. Eleanor Dorothy Hodgson Munro. Catherine Parlos. Zara Rafiq. Isabel Grace Gray Robbins. Ziad Said Wardle. Eleanor Taylor. Olivia Wilson. Lucy Marie Wright. And in Religions and Theology with honours, Abby Alex. Katie Allison. Erin Barrett. Ailsa Black. Auberon John Constantine Czartoryski Brusev. Harriet Fleming. Elizabeth Afer Grice. Georgia Faye Hanley. Anna Lavinia Hudson. Ali Khan. Anna Kova. Abigail Thirun Avukarasu. Charlotte Tiplady Bishop. And in Religions and Theology with International Disaster Management and Humanitarian Response, with honours, Joy Ruth Nicholson. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Theological Studies in Philosophy and Ethics with honours, Sophia Bingham. Giles Briscoe. Timothy Peter Cogan. Sylvie Coakley. Abigail Elderfield. Hannah Goodyear. Maisie Harris. Molly Jade Harris. Eleanor James. Jake Patrick Mercutio Kamara Kelly. Max Ken Bond. Sasha King. Katie Langton. Amy Louise McGrath. Ayesha Mia. Catherine Murphy. Christine Norwood. John Chukwuebuka Okafor. Edward Sharkey. Sonia Singh. Alexa Thompson. And for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy from Luther King House Educational Trust, Graham Hawley.
Vice President, on behalf of the Senate of the University, I present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History and Sociology with Honours, Sibia Akhtar. Vanessa Bothra. Asia Braithwaite. Dana Britton. Patrick James Capitelli McMahon. Robin Cullerton. Eleanor Ann Henry. Michael Richard Lee. Michaela Lewis. Jessica May Parker. Bethan Amy Pollington. Amber Jasmine Mariella Page Qureshi. Megan Sampson. Celine Vine. And in modern history with economics with honours, Jack Edward Storm Alcock. Armand Azra bin Aslira. Claudia Olivia Bertola. Cameron Brock. Kieran Brown. Trees Campman Williams. Oliver Chatwin. Joseph Alexander Cowie. James Edward Douglas Dalton. Ben Dickinson. Conrad Grobian. Anne Hassan. Samuel Temitayo Paul O. Light. Elisa Andrea Linu. Angus Alistair McCall. Sophie Marriott. Douglas McCraith. Cameron James Alexander McIntosh. Dominic Oliver Alanach Mead. Lily Mocock. Manon Najman. Amy Osman. Jake Matthew Redmond. Oliver John Salmon. Anne-Marie Sanella. Daniel Stredder. James Alexander George Ward Mallinson. Neve York. And in politics and modern history with honours, Aliyah Carol Teresa Aberdeen. Dane Albertelli. Ivan Atangana. John Christopher Ashford. Hayley Belgrave. Matthew Bezic. Laura Eve Buscher. Emily Bowden. Jennifer Brew. Juliet Brown. Matthew Browns. Jessica Marcia Chapman. Tariq Ryan Callum Chastanay Hurd. Joseph Andrew Clarkson Bowley. Louise Isla Elizabeth Clelford. Eliav Cohen. Elizabeth Agnes May Cole. Leah Collins. Bethan Cook. Alexander Cotterill. Bria Cotton. Ronan Cowley. Charlie Crawford. Angus Cunningham. Jacob Dunn. Laura Finn. Bethany Gallican. Richard Gorn. Megan Kate Geary. Panish Gopal. Erica J. Paul. Georgia Hampson. Lara Grace Harrison. George Oliver Havard. Phoebe Louise Flora Hazan. Callum Anthony Heseltine. Abby Hickson. Catherine Jane Hurst. Elizabeth Ann Howitt. Serena Hundle. Hannah Huntington. Isla Alison Husainolu. Samuel James Innocent. Samira Issa. Areti Jaber. Daniel Kemp. Ella Kimber. Tabitha Kingdon Jones. Lisa Conamore. Oliver Lee. George Lewis. Philip James Mangtelo. Jamie Marianne Marinelli. Leah Marlowe. Max George Herbert Maxfield. Charlie Mayman. Demi Lee McIntyre Yates. Lauren Louise McHenry. Patrick McNichol. Ella Mulrain Simkin. Danny Albert Ney. Samuel O'Connor. Matthew O'Connor Simpson. Elizabeth Omar. Courtney Eileen Orper Hudson. William Jude Phillips. Megan Purdy. Gabriel John Quinn. Solomon Valentine Rackham. Georgia Sophie Richardson. Dylan Rautley. Lily Sheehan. Maddie Sheldon. James Shepherd. Daniel Sparks. Emily Spittle. Daisy May Regina Stewart. Hannah Tarling. Afsara Tasnim. Iona Taylor. Olive Thomas. Lyle Tweed. Hannah Valance. Patrick Vavro. Morgan Voges. Fatmira Vulaj. Alice Rose Walton. Callum Ward. Hannah Ward. Oliver Ward. Alexander James Webb. Elizabeth Leigh Wilkinson. Thomas Wilson. Ella Zussman. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences with Honours, Katie Flett. And for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Sylvia Claire Barnett.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of us who have the honour and privilege of working in higher education, graduation is by far and away the best day of the year, as you can imagine. There's a couple of things struck me about today's ceremony, one of which is I got many people coming up and saying cheers and thank you and cheers mate, which is all lovely. But most of the people weren't really looking at me. I'm sure you were delighted to meet me, but most of the eyes were on the staff there, winking and saying thank you and that kind of stuff, just as Alexandra said at the beginning. The camaraderie between the staff and the students is very important. Also today, we had lots of whoops and cheers from the students themselves, from our graduates now themselves, and that's always nice to see as well. We normally get that from the parents and supporters, but it's great to see that coming from there as well. So could I please ask our now graduates to stand and do something useful with the thing you've been carrying around with you for most of the day, which is your mortarboard or your hat. If you could put that on your heads, please, and make sure that the tassels are on the left side, on your left side. Left and right is always tricky at this point. So. If I can now ask everyone else to stand, if you're able, please, and join me in congratulating the class of 2019. On behalf of the University of Manchester, I wish our graduates every success and happiness in their future lives and careers, and I now declare this ceremony closed. Thank you.